The joke description of less wrong that I've heard and that I kind of, there's a kernel of truth in it, is it's a group where very smart people get together and talk about how they're very smart and not get anything done. The people in less wrong tend to be not very effective at getting things done. So, what was it again? The instrumental rationality is, sorry, instrumental and epistemic rationality,
Yeah,
if I'm not
yeah,
mistaken, right? Yeah.
yeah.
So, so to be fair to Less Wrong, they are a community of very good epistemic rationalists. So epistemic rationality, it's so Less Wrong is a website. It's been around for a while, probably more than a decade. I'm quite confident that it's been around for more than a decade. It has very good writers. The people there are very smart and very kind and very nice. But they believe in a bar of truth that is, how should I put it? You need to have a rational reason for things. Is how I
It's like a hyper rationality. Like the way I see it, it's like a hyper rationality. Like this neat, everything needs to
Yes.
be perfect. Yeah.
Yes. You need to know things are true and have beliefs that are true and verified through some form of epistemology. And to be fair to them, right, they got the COVID-19 pandemic very right. They saw it before everyone else. They actually took action before everyone else. And I want to be very fair to them on that regard. Instrumental rationality, though, is the ability to achieve your goals, or the kind of thinking that is necessary to achieve your goals. And this doesn't talk about like goal selection, but it talks about like the kind of actions. Like if you believe that you want to be you want to get rich through entrepreneurship, then what are the set of actions and skills that you need to take, and then you should go and figure those out, and you should go do them. So in theory, people with high instrumental rationality are effective people, but less wrong people are not very effective, right? So the two things are different. Figuring out what is true versus figuring out what is useful and can help you achieve your goals are supposed to be two sides of the same coin, rationality, but turn out to be in practice different things. And this was sort of the thing. Early Common Cause was sort of counterposition against Less Wrong, because I found Less Wrong to be quite useless if you're trying to achieve goals in the world. And my knock on them was just like, you don't really talk about instrumental rationality. And if you look at people who are actually instrumentally rational, they don't actually have good epistemology. They don't need to care about what is true. They just need to know what is useful, and they need to have the agility to take action and to change their mind when their actions generate information that is wrong. Less Wrong's flaw is that they think that spending time analyzing situations is better, but there is a cost. If you just sit around using your big brain and your incredible intelligence to analyze things, right? You're not actually getting things done. It's more productive to have an active stance, to be able to a more dynamic stance. You're willing to change your mind on things, and then you do things so that you generate more information, so that you can make better decisions, and then you cycle quickly. So that's my sort of. There was a phase where Common Cog was sort of exploring this, but now, and it is effective because it did sort of clarify to me aspects of like, why are entrepreneurs not good rationalists, right? They are instrumentally rational. They're not necessarily epistemically rational, but epistemic rationality does not lead to success. I don't know if I've lost your audience there. This is very inside baseball.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, and I think that I think one of the examples you give that's really interesting that reflects this was Oprah. Like you don't consider Oprah to be like very really like rational. Like she speaks to all these people that are out there like super woo and all the supernatural stuff that's not grounded in anything, and yet she's insanely successful and came from a really like difficult upbringing, and yet she was able to become successful. And that the other example you give is like the Chinese businessmen who like they have this kind of like intuitive. The other way that I think about it is like intuitive street smart, right? And I feel like this is like a similar thing with my mom too. Like I'll get into conversations with her, and I feel like she doesn't grasp logic, but yeah, when I look at her life, she's very successful in a lot of ways. And I'm like, well, how does she not understand this, but yet she's able to like be effective in her life?